This idea of truth and honesty are so incredibly important. In the 12-step tradition, they talk a lot about like how the idea of rigorous honesty is so super critical. That idea of really learning to be rigorously honest in all things. And that gets right to this idea of truth. We live in an era where truth appears so relative a lot of the time. I mean, it's nothing hard to be able to find your source of truth and just pull all the little arguments that work for you in that moment. But we always need to be taking a step back and really asking, like, is this true? Are we absolutely sure that this is true? This came to my mind a few days ago talking with someone, and I was talking to this person, and they threw out a fact there. I knew that fact wasn't true. I needed to double check that to make sure. But that's what we all need to do. We all need to double check stuff, and don't double check it with your favorite source. There's tons of places online where you can go to look up to see whether something is demonstrably true or not, or demonstrably false, because we need to get back to what is true. We need to recenter on that. We need to come back to saying, this is what matters. Here's the truth. Other stuff is opinion. Fine, have opinions, but this is what is actually true. Because this is the danger, and this is from the book Secrets of Heaven, 2385. And this is a pretty consistent warning in Christian New Church theology. And the consistent warning is this, is we can make anything true we want to make true. That is no great feat to do that. And especially, this was written in the 1700s, but especially today where you have a million sources, not hard to do. I mean, you can prove the earth is flat. People do that, as crazy as that is. But listen to this, and it's good for us to keep this in mind as a pretty important warning. Anyone can recognize that once we have adopted a principle, we are capable of marshalling an unlimited wealth of arguments to prove it, no matter what its nature is, even if it's the height of falsity. Superficially, we can make it look as though we're the epitome of truth. That is how heresies arise, and from heresy, we never back away once we have confirmed it. However, everything that comes from false principle is false thinking. Even if truth is injected, it still becomes falsified when used in support of the false principle, having been polluted with the quality of that principle. That's where, friends, we have to come back to keeping first things recognizably first and really coming back to that basic principle. What's a principle we could look at today that would be really important? Well, a line I've always loved from the Bible, and I love it because my dad wrote it in the first Bible he gave me back in 6th grade, and it was, know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. That's such an important line. That when we can really be candid about the truth, really look at the truth, really talk about the truth, we can start to change the whole conversation. We'll find ourselves more and more free. There's less anxiety, and there's also just this right sizing. There is truth that is larger than us. That's really important. And so much of just the global Christian message is that there are truths, there are facts, there are things way beyond us, that there is a moral order out there. And so much of life that God puts us in is this chance to just discover this deep moral order that's embedded into the universe. And that's the key to the religious faith. We don't sort of have our experience of life and then make up truth. No, we're asked to do it the other way around. We're asked to really try to get the truth, really try to understand that, and then kind of see how our experience of life can shift around what we know to be true. Example I use all the time with baptisms is a compass. Like a compass points to a true north. And that's a beautiful thing. And think how much navigation we can make just by holding that idea that there is such a thing as a true north. It allows all kinds of travel and journey and all kinds of beautiful things to happen. So the takeaway is pretty simple, friends. Just remember there's a difference between truth and opinion. And make sure that you're double checking everything before you say it. As best you can, even though that sounds a little preachy on my part. I'm a preacher, so I guess I can say it. Double check. Make sure that when you throw stuff out there that you just heard as rumors, fact, double check first, because it really does make a difference. And the other part is just remembering that the truth does set you free. It's important to find that really key thing, to find that true north, navigate by that true north, and not fall into some sort of thing where just because somebody says it or has an opinion about it, that all of a sudden that makes it true. It doesn't. And we don't serve society well. We don't serve our families well. We don't serve our communities well. We certainly don't serve our nation well by any of that. So really learning to come from what's true, incredibly important. And I know that is an old-fashioned message. It's not the least bit sexy of a message, but boy, that can make a difference in our lives. And that is so much what God is gently reminding us. Keep coming back to what's true, knowing our minds can create all kinds of rationalizations for things, but the rationalizations don't make it true. The principle that we're navigating by, that's where truth lies. So may we have a day filled with a little bit more truth today than we had yesterday. There's your thought. And now, friends, what we're going to do is now we're going to take a breath. We're going to do a little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing, and then we'll say hi to folks on Facebook. So with that, I'd ask us all to just get a big breath. And listen to the prayer bell. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's get a little cheery hello here to folks, and I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. We certainly did. It was terrific. Melissa, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Good morning. David says, good morning. Always check the facts. Thank you, Chuck. Know the truth and it shall set you free. It really does. It just, I don't know. Like, we live in such a different era. I yearn when I see you writing that, I sort of yearn for the old era of Walter Cronkite, where you had like one source and one or two sources. Well, you had three: ABC, NBC, or CBS. Like, those were the sources. And it's just so different now, and I don't know whether it necessarily feels that great, to be honest. Martha writes, "Boy, in this climate, ain't it the truth?" It's so true. And friends, boy, we can get back to being much better, and it leads to a much better conversation and much better problem solving. That all goes without saying. When we can really look into what the truth of a situation actually is. So let's flip on to this here. Sorry about that, folks. A little slow on the draw today. All right. And last one. Rita, good morning to you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Well, friends, wishing you a great day. God bless all of you.